Hey, Ty here, so welcome to the VR Tech channel. It's been a while since the last time we saw a HTC virtual reality headset on the channel. And this is the VIVE Focus Vision, the latest hybrid virtual mixed reality headset by HTC. And I was pretty surprised to don't see many videos about this one, as I think that the premise is very interesting. A standalone headset that is able to do native PCVR, just connected via the proper cable. On top of that, there's a high resolution headset with wide FOV, eye tracking, mixed reality, the possibility to use face trackers, and also full body tracking, all supported by the software directly. So I have to be honest, I started bothering Vive so much that I actually gave in and sent one over and asked if I could talk about it. So here we are to talk about it. By the way, this is not going to be a full review as I'm on a very tight schedule, but I had to kind of check the hardware, the software, the possibility, and yeah, what's all about. So well, let's get into it. So let's start with what's inside the box, because it comes in a very big box, by the way. In here we're gonna find the controllers with nowadays a standardized design, A and B XY layout, 2 thumbstick, analog grips, and triggers with a click at the end as well. Power adapter to charge the battery of the headset, rather short though, and the awesome and convenient Y cable to charge the controllers. Moving away what seems to be a headset, a rather big box for a glass spacer, useful if you wear glasses. I guess the battery is already mounted on mine. Here we are with the VIVE Focus Vision with some additional Vive stickers, so you guys know for sure it's a Vive and smudges. I'm pretty sure you will not get this unique DNA experience though. Luckily, it's all for me. The design of this is pretty cool though. It feels solid as a rock and ready for some real VR abuse. The weight is around 800 grams for a full hybrid system with 4 cameras for the 6DoF tracking of the headset and the controllers, 2 face cameras for the new stereoscopic colored mixed reality, and an additional depth sensor right in the middle. Also, the front plates is raised a bit to give the XR2 chipset inside a bit more air, as the previous Focus 3 suffered from a loud fan. The strap feels very sturdy with integrated spatial audio speakers for surprisingly good audio, a dial on the back, and a quick release button, and an up-swappable battery with a battery indicator on it, as most of the power is on the back, and that makes the headset very balanced on your head with almost a 50-50 weight distribution. This time there's even a battery on the headset, so when you swap it, you can keep going with what you're doing. On the side there's a headphone jack, thanks HTC, and the USB Type-C port that, with the optional cable, will give us full PCVR capabilities. Cool perk, by the way, you can use the headset itself to charge the controllers as well, as the headset will charge from the battery part. The face cushion is removable and made of fake leather material, a bit firm, and back here we can even see the micro SD card slot to enhance the storage up to 2 TB, as the integrated storage is 128 GB. Here we can see the 2 double-stack Fresnel lenses, the same lenses of the VIVE Pro 2 and its predecessor, the VIVE Focus 3, while the beta should give us bigger FOV. There's no IPD adjustment wheel, as this time it's completely automatic with motors that will move the lenses to the correct eye position for easier way to get to the sweet spot, thanks to the integrated 120 eye tracking with 0.5 to 1.1 degrees accuracy. The IPD range goes from 57 to 72 millimeters. On the bottom you have the volume rocker, the microphone, and under this magnetic lid a USB Type-C for their own face tracker. And talking about additional specs, we have 2 LCD displays with a resolution 2448 by 2448, each eye running up to 90 Hz and 120 with a future update in theory for what they say the combined 5K resolution, 12GB of LPDDR5 RAM, Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2. Mine also came with a cable to connect it directly to the PC. This looked like a regular USB Type-C, but it has enough bandwidth to actually get full DisplayPort capabilities out of it for what they call lossless PCVR, or translated to regular word PCVR without streaming compression, native PCVR. So in this box you're gonna find the cable, the adapter hub, the USB with power adapter for charging. Get into the headset before starting. That is setup needed, by the way, that involves using your phone with a VIVE app to register the headset with a VIVE account to get your pre-order bonus if you got one, or the 3 games included with the purchase. After a lengthy tutorial, in which I really appreciate the inability to actually skip it, we can set the boundaries, and that's it. We're ready to actually use the VIVE Focus Vision. So let's get into it and let's discover this new Vision. And here we are in the VIVE Focus Vision in the home environment. We will land right away after the tutorial. And as you can see, the idea here is a bit different from what we have on other systems, because we don't just have panels in front of us, but there are also interactable objects to actually download games or get in our apps directly. So it's a bit more like an interactive thing, like the Vive desk, when you move around and you select different parts of the operating system to use. Like the library over there reminds me of the iPhone. But going back over here, what you notice right away, we have hand tracking, of course. To interact with everything, we can also use the controllers, of course. But because we have eye tracking, we can also use our eyes. Let me do it. Okay, we can just scroll down and point at things and actually select them without having to select them directly with the pointer from our hands. It's pretty handy and works pretty well indeed. It's nice to have the possibility to interact directly, even touching if we want, or just use our eyes. Let's go to the store. Unfortunately, there's not many apps over here, but VR chat, that was the most important things for this headset, for all the tracking capabilities that it can provide. It's over there, and we can launch it and play it directly if we want. We have the library, that these are the games that I actually own. Not many, but the super cool thing is that clicking over here, start to see all the apps that we have installed on our PC and launch them right away from here with Steam VR without having to go through the PC and do all the things from there. So the library gets completely integrated. It's something that I wish more manufacturers were actually doing this, because it's super, super cool indeed. We have the settings over here with brightness and stuff, the boundary system that we can change with also mixed reality, with that inputs, with hand tracking, eye tracking, and the motion trackers that are of course available as accessories, connectivity. Over here, also with our phone, that we can actually see inside the system, and all the beta features, like the one that I'm using right now, the eye gaze targeting, to actually select things just looking at them. But yeah, let's get our controllers and check some games directly. By the way, I almost forgot, this is the pass-through, so you can see the camera over there, and you can look around, grab the things that you want to grab, and it's weirdly very good with the tracking of the controllers. It's very stable indeed. The latency seems to be very low, but the resolution is not the highest. But we can still use it to play some games. Here we go. As you can see, this is Puzzle in Places. I'm in mixed reality, probably going out of a frame of the camera. But yeah, this is Hyperdash, and playing standalone games in VR is completely fine. It's pretty fluid indeed. Probably it's not going to be the best for the recording. Woohoo! Let's remember that here we have an XR2 inside, so it's not the most powerful chipset, like games that run over here that are on the store run completely fine, as you can see, super smooth. But of course, the most important part of this headset, I died, is actually, PCVR. So let's get to it. So right away, without streaming compression, we can actually use Steam VR completely with all our games directly. And if you use the eye tracking for social apps like VR Chat, for example, it's gonna go through the cable, not like on PSVR 2, for example. So you're gonna be able to use the face tracking if you have that accessory, the full body tracking, and also the eye tracking directly native PCVR with a very simple setup in theory. And the cool thing over here, we get extra high resolution, no latency, because of course we're talking about PCVR, native PCVR. So yeah, it will be much easier to actually play your games all the time, and everything would just look better over here. And this is spooky. Come on, dudes. It's gonna use much less power than streaming games, because there's no encoding and decoding happening on the PC. actually, but everything will happen like a native PCVR headset. You know, with front lenses, everything is not gonna be extra crisp, but at least we do have a wider FOV that is, you know, around 120 degrees horizontal, like they were saying. And with the resolution, you can still read pretty much all the lines. But yeah, this is the VIVE Focus Vision.